How you doing there, folks? As you can probably tell, I'm out on the bike. I'm doing a wee test ride here. I'm in the nettles. I'm a bit careful here. Okay, that's a bit better. I'm just in the woods in behind the house. I've just given this bike a wee run. I've been working away on it all day. And a bit of servicing. It's actually hammering down with rain, but I'm under the trees, so I'm relatively dry just now. I'm going to see if I can find a spot down here. Stop and have a wee chat, give a wee update on life and times. What I'm up to, where I've been these last couple of weeks. A wee bit of a channel hiatus. I haven't been around on camera for a wee while. There's a nice wee clearing up here, but the clearing's in the rain. I wonder if I can find a wee spot to stop and have a wee blather. I've still got the camera mounted on the bike there, but I think this is a reasonable camera angle for sitting chatting to you, give you a wee insight into why there's been a bit of a hiatus with the channel recently. The simple reason is I've just been busy. I've been too busy to get out with the camera. After that little trip that I made down to the Mull of Galloway, I came back with gifts that were bestowed on me by a former colleague, good friend. And I really needed to open up some ground in the garden to get them planted. So I've been working away on that. And it's not a big project, but it does take time, and the ground is quite hard ground to cultivate. So that occupied a bit of time. And then I've also been looking around to secure a couple of winter projects that I can do under cover for these dark, dreary days that are on the horizon now, folks. It's quite a dull day today, but actually it's nice and cool today. Anyhow, back to these projects. It's going to involve building up some bikes, so I have a bit of a passion for tinkering around with old bicycles, especially vintage bicycles that are made up of relatively few moving parts. So I've got a couple of bikes stowed in the back of the gear room, and I'm going to be getting out the toolkit and come the autumn or the winter time. But checking the listings and then going out and visiting a few sellers to acquire these bicycles is taking quite a lot of time, surprising amount of time, but I do have a couple of bikes. I did manage out and about a few times, but I just didn't take the camera with me, so I've been in the hills a couple of times. I was out camping the night before last. I summit camped on Corbett, see if I can remember the name of it, Benacoin I think it is, above Loch Katrine. So I took the camera with me, but we didn't set off until about 7:30 at night, so I didn't really have any opportunity to film, although I did switch the camera on the summit, and I've got a minute or two of footage, so I'll stitch that into this video. So a bit of gardening, a bit of hill walking, a bit of shopping to get these old bikes, and a wee bit of camping. But I'm sitting here with this bike. This is my fat bike that I'm riding today, and I've got two cameras mounted on it. I've got one facing forward and it's on a swivel, so I can actually turn it around and get different camera angles, and I've got one on a long arm that's facing back towards me. It took a surprising amount of time to get these cameras mounted so that they're not shaking about all over the place. And this is my third or fourth attempt. So it'll be interesting to see when I get home, which is just over there, and I upload the footage if it's going to be usable, because I'm planning a bike trip. I'm planning a bike trip at the end of the month. You'll remember last year, or was it this year? I can't remember myself. Anyway, I did a trip on the fat bike where I was out for a couple of days, and I was up about Loch Patrick and in the hills looking towards the bottom end of Loch Eric, the Ben Alder range and that sort of area. And I did a circuit around, and the wee movie made it feel like you joined me on that entire circuit, but I got a puncture in the front wheel and I actually damaged the wheel a little bit. So I had to turn the cameras off for quite a long time. And on that particular wee expedition, my plan was to start away down at Kinlochrannoch and do a big circuit through the hills, but because of lockdowns and different tiers and all the complications of the rules and regulations, I couldn't start in Highland Perthshire. I had to start in Highland Region. It all seems a wee bit crazy looking back on it. So I did a shorter circuit. I had a breakdown. I had to put the cameras away for quite a long period, and so the film was pretty well received, if I'm being honest. But I think people were being generous with their praise and their thumbs up on that particular one. And I felt at the end of it that I'd like to go back and do it properly and do the whole circuit. So I'm planning to do that at the end of the month. And there'll be something a little bit different because a subscriber, John, if you're watching, hello there, John, he has indicated that he would like to join me. I'm hoping that he's going to join me for the whole circuit, but if not, he could maybe join me for part of it. There's a couple of points where he might be able to bail out if he doesn't want to do the craziness of the whole circuit. It's quite an undertaking, and that is why I've been working away on this bike to see if I can get it more track worthy. It's not in brilliant condition, and well, it's a wee bit better now, having spent most of the day on it. The drivetrain is all working perfectly now, and the shifters are all running smoothly. I'm quite pleased with the back end of it, but the front end is still giving me trouble. It's got through axles, so unlike these old vintage bikes that I enjoy playing with, where you can pretty much take them to bits and put them back together again with an adjustable spanner, these modern bikes, I don't know, they seem to have lots of components that are quite fickle, and through axles are held in place by a quick release skewer, and it's playing up. Actually, it's partially stripped, so it's on and it's secure now. However, if I had to take the wheel off during this upcoming adventure, it might be a problem. Firstly, I might not be able to get the wheel off, and secondly, if I did get it off, I'm not sure that I could actually secure it back on again. So I've been trying to get a replacement, but I can't find one. So I'm struggling a little bit whether to take this bike or not. I'm really keen to take this bike because this is the bike that broke down on the last trip, and I feel I owe it to this bicycle to do the proper circuit. I'll just have to see. John, if you're watching this, you're probably quite worried at this point. You're going to be towing me around. I'll think about it. Before switching the cameras on, I was cycling this quite hard for about an hour. Although the house is just in behind me now, I've been further afield and I'm on my way back now. And it seems to be holding up quite well. So notwithstanding the issue of not being able to get the front wheel off, providing there's no reason or need to take it off, I think the bike will be fine. Am I just blethering here? Anyhow, it was just a quick channel update, which has turned into a very long channel update, explaining the reasons why I haven't been out with the camera. I've just been busy and maybe a little bit lazy with the filming, because although I have been busy, I have been out a few times. But I'll rectify that. Towards the end of the month, we'll get a bike, hopefully this bike, packed up with some camping gear. I'll do a big circuit through the hills and I'll take you with me. between now and then I might try and get out and do an easy movie, do an easy trip. So let me wind this channel update up for now, and I hope you stay tuned. And if you haven't looked at all the videos in the channel, maybe this is an opportunity to flick back and look at some of the older stuff until I get round to getting the bigger cameras out and putting a bit of effort in and getting a decent movie for you. It's coming, folks, I promise you. So for now, I'll sign off. Bid you good day. Stay safe, folks. Bye for now.